Hello everyone, my name is Dan and I have a super exciting and highly requested video for you all today because in this one we will backtest the ICT silver bullet strategy and find out if it really works. So if that sounds interesting, let's get right into it. Alright, so for this backtest, we will use the FX Replay backtesting software. I'm not sponsored by them, but the reason I like to use them is because they make backtesting a lot easier, and I also enjoy the analytics they offer at the end of the backtest, and that's exactly why we will use them. Okay, so before we jump into the backtest, let's quickly recap the rules of the silver bullet strategy. I assume that most of you already watched the video, the silver bullet strategy video I posted a few weeks ago. It was a video that performed really well, and so many people asked me if I can do a backtest on it, and that's exactly why I am filming this video today. Okay, so let's quickly recap the rules in case you don't already know them. So the first rule is that we don't need a daily bias. That's the beauty of this strategy. We just jump on the chart and we look for a setup. It is that simple. Secondly, the suggested pairs are as follows: GBP USD, Euro USD, NES 100, and SPX. For this video, we will backtest the GBP USD pair. Okay, then we know that we only trade this strategy on the 5-minute time frame, and after that, in order to enter the trade, we look for the first fair value gap that forms between 10 and 11 a.m. New York time. If a fair value gap doesn't form between 10 and 11 a.m. New York time, we will not trade that day, okay? And we will wait till the next silver bullet session, all right? After that, after we identify our first fair value gap during this interval, we then place a buy or sell limit on it, okay? And we use a fixed 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio. You see how mechanical this strategy is, okay? And simple to follow. After that, at 4 p.m. New York time, if we still have a running order, we will close it. This rarely happens, but when it does at 4 p.m. New York time, that's when we close everything. Or maybe the pending order hasn't yet triggered. If the pending order hasn't yet triggered till 4 p.m. New York time, that's when we will delete it. Okay, so at 4 p.m. New York, we will close the running trade or the pending order, if the trade hasn't triggered, of course. Okay, and lastly, there will only be a maximum of one trade per day. Okay, that's the beauty of it, because you can pretty much use this strategy on your own personal account, on prop firms as well. Okay, and because it's only one trade a day, you can also risk, let's say, 1 or 2%. Okay, because in worst case, you will lose 2% on that specific day. Okay, but personally, I recommend to stick to the 1% risk per trade if you are trading a prop firm. But of course, everyone has a different risk appetite, so at the end of the day, it is totally up to you. All right, so now let's jump into the backtest. We will backtest the whole month of June 2023. I was thinking to backtest the month of September, but month of September isn't yet over, and that's why I randomly chose the month of June, and we will start on the 1st of June, and we will end the backtest at the 1st of July. So make sure to stick till the end to see what results we've got. Okay, so we have a $100,000 account balance, okay, and we will only risk 1% per trade. Okay, we will stick to the 1% per trade rule. Okay, and here I went to the custom settings and I selected the next silver bullet session settings to start at 10 a.m. New York time, because that's exactly when we will start looking for a setup. Okay, so now it is very simple. All we have to do is click go to next silver bullet session. Okay, and boom, we are at the next silver bullet session, but this is the 31 of May. So let's go to the next silver bullet session, which will be the 1st of June. Okay, so now we will start our backtest. But before we do, I also wanted to let you know that if you want to see the SMC trades I am taking every single day, you can do that by joining my SMC trading group. It is the first link down below. You can go ahead and check it out. Okay, so let's start this backtest. Okay, 10 a.m. Now we will use the replay button. Okay, and we will look for a fair value gap. Okay, so no fair value gaps here. Okay, very clear to see. Okay, nope, no fair value gap. And remember, if we reach the 11 a.m. and we have no fair value gaps, we will just end the day there. Okay, and there's no fair value gaps. Here we are at 11 a.m. So we will just go to the next day, next silver bullet session. Okay, 2nd of June, 10 a.m. We can now start to look for some setups. Okay, okay, boom. Our first fair value gap formed right here. Okay, so let's quickly mark it. Let's place the sell limit. Stop loss will be right above the high, and then take profit will be at 1 to 2. We will place the order. Okay, save, and now let's play the price to see what happens. Okay, so we didn't got trigger. We didn't got in. Okay, so we are approaching the 4 p.m. We are approaching the 4 p.m. As we can see, we are UTC -4, so that is the New York time. And yeah, no trade today either. Okay, so let's delete this setup and move on to the next day. So far we had 2 days and no trades. That's totally fine. Okay, we stick to our plan and we continue. Okay, so now we are Monday, 5th of June. Okay, so let's play the price and look for a fair value gap. Okay, so we have a pretty big fair value gap right here. We could take it, of course, because we stick to the rules. And let's place the targets accordingly. So this will be the entry. Stop loss will be right there. And take profit will be at 1 to 2. Okay, so now let's place the order. Save. And let's see what happens. Okay, so we get triggered. Running in profit. If it won't hit the take profit or the stop loss till 4 p.m., I will manually close it. So we are approaching, okay, 4 p.m. Let's close it in a small $300 profit. Still okay at the end of the day. And we can move on to the next session, okay, to the next day, which is the 6th of June. Let's play the price. Okay, boom, we have a fair value gap right here. So we will now place our buy limit order. Okay, we will place our buy limit right there. Stop loss right below the first candle. Okay, we all know that a fair value gap forms after a 3 candlestick formation. Okay, we need 3 candlesticks for a fair value gap to form. This is the first one, the second one, and the third. If the high of the first candle doesn't overlap with the low of the third candle, then that's our fair value gap. Okay, that's a super simple explanation right there. So let's place the order, save, and now let's play the price to see what happened. Okay, it triggered us, almost hit the stop loss, but then it reversed and it smashed our take profit. So now we are at $102.3 thousand. Okay, so we are in a 2.3% profit so far. So let's move on. I'm really curious if we could pass a 100k challenge in a month. So we will find out when we will end this backtest. So make sure to stick till the end. Okay, that's when we will discuss the analytics. Okay, so let's look for a fair value gap. No fair value gap yet. No fair value gap. Okay, none. Okay, so we can see, okay, right here we had no fair value gaps because the lows of the candle, of the first candle, overlaps with the high of the third consecutive candle. Okay, so no fair value gaps there. Okay, right here, if we zoom in, we do have a fair value gap. It is a very small one, but we do have it. Okay, right there, that's our fair value gap. So now that we identified it, let's quickly place the sell limit accordingly. The stop loss will be right above the first candle of our 3 candle formation for the fair value gap. And now we can place the order. Okay, so let's play the price, and wow, check this out. What a beautiful sniper entry. It literally tapped us in and then boom, straight into the take profit. And now we are in a 4.3% gain for the month, which is great. Okay, So we can go to the next day, to the next silver bullet session. Okay, so let's see if we have a setup here. Let's play the price and look for a fair value gap. No fair value gaps yet. Oh, and we have a fair value gap right here. And you can see how simple this strategy is. Okay, so stop loss will be right there and take profit at 122 right there. Place order, save, and let's see how this one plays out. Oh, it just missed our entry there, and it would have been such a sniper, but all good. Let's just skip it and see if it triggers till 4 p.m. If not, it was just a bit of tough luck, because we can see that it legit missed our entry by not even 1 pip, and then it moved straight into the take profit. So yeah, 4 p.m. Let's delete the order and move on to the next day. No setup for today, which is totally fine. 9th of June. Let's see if we got a setup today. Okay, boom. Right there we have a fair value gap. Okay, we just identified it. Super simple. Now we place the buy limit, stop loss accordingly, take profit, and then we just wait. That's all it is. Okay, super simple. Place order, save, and boom. Let's play the price. Okay, so we have a stop loss right here. That's totally normal. Okay, we will also lose. Next silver bullet session. Okay, let's look for a fair value gap, and also make sure you are subscribed. If you enjoy the content I put out on a weekly basis, make sure you're subscribed and have the notifications turned on to be the first that gets notified whenever I upload. Okay, so right here I don't see any fair value gaps yet, and boom, we have a fair value gap right here, very clear to see. We will place the sell limit there, the stop loss will be above, and the take profit at 122. Okay, now let's place the order and see how this played out. I'm really curious to see how the results will look like when we end this month, so we'll find out very soon. Make sure to stick till the end though, okay, when we will discuss the results together. And here again we have a bit of tough luck. Okay, the setup barely the price barely missed us by 1.5 pips, and then it went straight into the take profit. And now we are at 4 p.m. so we will delete the unmitigated order and we will move on to the next day. It is what it is. We stick to our plan. We are still in a really decent profit so far for this month. Okay, so let's play the price. Okay, if we zoom in, I think we have a fair value gap. Yes, we do. We can see that the wicks aren't overlapping. So now we can place our sell limit order right there with the stop loss right above the first candle of our 3 candlestick formation that formed the fair value gap. And now we will place the order, okay, risking 1%. And okay, another stop loss. Okay, so we just move on to the next day. We stick to our plan and we move on to the next day. Like I said, losses are also part of the game, and they will always be part of the game. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay, so right here, no fair value gaps. Let's continue. Okay, we have a fair value gap right there. Boom. So now let's place the buy limit order accordingly with the stop loss right below there and take profit at 122. Place order, save. Okay, and now let's use the, oh, check this out. What a beautiful sniper entry. Check this beautiful sniper entry out. Okay, so it tapped us in right here and then boom, straight into profit. In 15 minutes it smashed the take profit. Okay, so now we are back in a really decent profit. 4.3% for the month. We were at 2.3%. So a really good gain so far. A really good gain so far this month. Okay, boom, we have a fair value gap right here. All right, this is the fair value gap. We will place the buy limit right there, stop loss right there, and take profit at 122. Okay, super simple. You can see how simple it is to backtest this strategy. It is so mechanical. Now let's click play and oh, very nice reaction and boom, take profit hit. What a beautiful trade. Back to back sniper entries. Okay, Super beautiful. And now we are in a 6.3K profit. Okay. So if you would have traded a 100K challenge, you would have now been at 6.3K uh, in profits, or 6.3%, and you need around 10% to pass the challenge. And in some on some prop firms you only need 8%. Okay, so really good backtest so far in my opinion. But let's continue. Okay, so no fair value gap. Boom, we have a fair value gap there. Let's identify it. Boom, right there. Let's place the sell limit, the stop loss accordingly. Okay, and the take profit at 1 to 2. Let me quickly adjust it right there. We will place the order. Boom, and now let's play the markets. Okay, it tapped us in. Running. Let's see, I will close it at 4 p.m., which is right here. This is when I will close the trade, and it looks like I will close it. Okay, and literally at break even. Okay, so this would be a break even trade. All good. And now we can move on to the next day, which is the 19th of June. We are getting closer and closer to the end of the month. Okay, so boom, we have a fair value gap right here. Sell limit right there, stop loss there, and take profit at 1 to 2, which is right here. Let's place the order, save, and now let's play the price. Boom, sniper entry, but now it's back in. Okay, so this was a stop loss. All good. Let's move on to the next day, to the next silver bullet session. And yeah, like I said, the beauty about this strategy is that we will only have one setup a day. Okay, so at the end, when we will check out the analytics, we will see what our biggest losing streak was, and then we will discuss about it, because that's why I said that with the strategy you could potentially risk 2% as well per trade, because the maximum daily loss limit on prop firms is 5%, and you won't get close to that because you only have one trade a day. So that's going to be a maximum of 2% lost in a day, and then the overall loss is 10% on most prop firms. On some it's even 12%. Okay, so you would have to lose 5 trades in a row. That would have to be your max losing streak in order to blow your account. But we will discuss about that in a bit when we will finish the backtest. Okay, so make sure to stick till the end. Okay, so let's look for a fair value gap. Let's look for a fair value gap, and boom, this is our first fair value gap, and we will always trade the first fair value gap that forms. Okay, only the first one, and that's it. Stop loss right there, take profit at 1 to 2, which is around there. So we can now place the order, save. Okay, another stop loss, all good. I think our maximum losing streak so far is 2 trades in a row, which is, in my opinion, very, very good. Okay, we have a fair value gap right here. All right, let's place the buy limit, stop loss accordingly, and take profit at 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Let's place the order, and now let's play the price. Okay, so it didn't trigger. Oh, very nice, very, very nice. It didn't trigger, then it came back, it tapped us in, and boom, straight into the take profit. Very beautiful sniper entry. Okay, super beautiful. Let's go to the next day, the 22nd of June. Okay, let's look for a fair value gap, and I think we have one right here. Yep, we zoom in to make sure, but it is very clear to see that we have a fair value gap. We will place the sell limit right there. Okay, the stop loss will be right above the first candle of our 3 candlestick formation that formed the fair value gap, and take profit right there. Let's place the order, click save, and now let's play the markets. Okay, wow, check this out, another sniper entry. Wow, this is so beautiful. I mean, these are the entries we live for, right? We get super happy when these entries occur. And two in a row, back-to-back sniper entries. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. So now we are at 8%, 8.3% gain on our account. So if you would be on a prop firm that has a 8% target, you would have pretty much passed your challenge in only 20 days, in only 23 days, which is, in my opinion, very solid, with also a conservative risk, okay, because we only risk 1% per trade, okay. So in my opinion, that's very solid. But let's continue, okay? And we will discuss more about the results when we finish the backtest. Okay, boom, we have a fair value gap right here. Sell limit right there, stop loss accordingly, and then take profit at 1 to 2, which is right there. Okay, now let's place the order, save, and play the markets. Okay, it tapped us in and running in profit. Let's drag the position all the way till 4 p.m. because that's when we will look to close the trade. And okay, we will close it. Looks like we will close it in a drawdown, in a $500 drawdown, which is 0.5%. Not big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. We can move on to the next day, the next silver bullet session. Okay, 10 a.m. 26th of June. No fair value gap yet. Let's zoom in. Do we have a fair value gap here? No, we don't. So let's continue. No fair value gap. Oh, boom. We have a fair value gap right here. Okay, let's place the sell limit. The stop loss right there, and the take profit right there. Place order, and now we can play the price. Oh, this was a stop loss. I think this was news or something. Yeah, because of the impulsiveness of the candle. But we don't care. Okay, with the system, we just don't care about news. We just stick to it as simple as is, and we continue. That was a loss, and we continue. Okay, no fair value gaps. Yep, I don't see any. Still, I don't see any. Nope. And 11 a.m. So no setups for the 27th of June. Let's move on to the next day. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have a fair value gap right there. Very nice. Let's place the sell limit, the stop loss above, and the take profit at 2R. And we are super close to the end of the backtest. Okay, I'm really curious to watch the analytics. Wow, beautiful sniper entry running in profit, and nice take profit was smashed. So we are at a 8.8% gain so far this month, which is really solid. And I think we have this day and another day. Okay, so let's see if we will have any setups. Okay, boom, we have a fair value gap right there. The buy limit will be placed there, stop loss right there, and then take profit at 1 to 2 as always. Place order, save, and now let's play the market to see what happened. Okay, looks like we are running in drawdown. We are now back in profit. Let's extend till 4 p.m. and that's when we will close the setup manually. And okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so let's close it in a very small loss, pretty insignificant, close to break even. And now let's move on to the next day, which is the final day, because it's the 30th of June, the last day of the month. So let's see if we will have any setups today. Okay, fair value gap right there. Let's place the buy limit, the stop loss accordingly, and the take profit at 1 to 2. And now we can place the order and see how this trade played out, if it will trigger. Okay, so wow, it just missed the entry, but now it tapped us in. Now it tapped us in. So let's see if this will be a winner. Okay, currently consolidating, but it smashed it to take profit right there. And yeah, this was a winner. This was another winner. And this pretty much ends the backtest, the full backtest. We backtested the full month of June. And we can see that the account balance is sitting at $110.7 thousand, which is a 10.7% gain on this month of June using the silver bullet strategy. So let's go on the analytics. I'm making sure, yeah. So the next session is the is July, so we won't trade that day because we ended the backtest. So let's go over the analytics. Yes, show me the analytics. And boom, check this out. Check the graph. So we had 17 total trades, 10 winners and 7 losses. 58.8% win rate is very solid in my opinion. That's a very solid win rate because it's a 1 to 2 risk to reward rate strategy. And to be fair, of course, if you will backtest it more and more, expect this win rate to go lower towards 50%, around that. But that's still very, very good because we use a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Average risk to reward is 1.6 because we closed some trades at 4 p.m. And we can see this is a very healthy graph. Okay, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, but it's constantly going up, and it shows 10.8% gain, okay, over a month using 1% risk per trade. Okay, so that's pretty conservative. So let's get into some more details. Average duration 1 hour and 49 minutes. That's not bad at all. And again, this is mostly because of the trades that we had to close at 4 p.m. because usually the trade takes a lot less to play out. We saw some sniper entries that legit took only 15 minutes. So total winners 10, total losers, sorry, 7. Average win streaks 2.67, average loss streaks 2, max win streak 3, max loss streak 2. Okay, so like I was saying, our max loss streak was only 2, so we could definitely use a 2% risk as well. Okay, and we would be safe with it. And if we would have used a 2% risk, then we would have been at a 21.6% gain over this month of June, which is very, very good. Okay, if we would have risked 2% instead of 1, and we could have, because our max losing streak is 2. So worst case, we would have been at a -4% drawdown, which is not even close to the max drawdown limit, which is 10%, or in some cases 12. But of course, the losing streak could get bigger if we continue to backtest it over a longer period of time. But generally, I think the max losing streak should be at around 3, 4, maximum 5 trades, I think, with this strategy. And like I said, the win rate would also drop a little bit. It would probably drop towards 50%. But again, that's still very, very solid. So now we get into the performance per day. This is something I love about the analytics, because it literally shows you what the most profitable day was. So we can see that on Wednesday, we only had wins. On Wednesday, we only had wins and no losses. Thursday is also a very profitable day. Friday is pretty break even. Tuesday is again pretty break even. And then Monday is not profitable. Okay, so imagine backtesting a very long period of time, and then this graph will help you very, very much, because you will see where you are most profitable. And if, let's say, the Wednesday is the most profitable day and Thursday, and you see that all the other days are break even or losing days, you could only focus and trade these 2 days instead, to maximize your profits and your win rate as well. Because as we can see, Monday is a losing day, Tuesday is a break even day, Wednesday is when all the profits, when most of the profits were made, $8,000, okay, 8% was made on Wednesday. Thursday made 4%, which again is a very big amount. And then Friday is pretty much break even as well. So this graph right here is very, very helpful in my opinion. And yeah, again, month of June, we can see 10.77% gain on the account using 1% risk per trade. And yeah, this pretty much ends the backtest, the month of June backtest on the silver bullet strategy. And as we can see, it is a profitable strategy to trade. It is very simple, very mechanical, and it shows good results. As we can see, we have a very healthy graph. But like I said, if you backtest it over a longer period of time, you will see that the win rate will drop slightly, but still a 50% win rate will be super, super good for a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio strategy. And yeah, that's about it, really. This ends our backtest. Once again, these are the results. You can pause the video and analyze them closely if you think they will help them. And feel free to backtest it as well. Feel free to backtest it as well on TradingView, on FX Replay if you have it. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by them, but I do give credit when I have to give credit. You know, when a platform is very simple and cool to use and gives me super cool analytics like this one does, I will definitely suggest it. Okay, so yeah, make sure you leave your questions down below if there's any, your feedbacks as well. That will be very much appreciated. Share and like the video if you enjoyed it. And until next time, the ICT silver bullet strategy we just backtested, explained in depth, step by step, will pop on the screen right now. If you haven't yet watched that video, I highly recommend you to go ahead and watch it. And I will be very curious to see your feedbacks on it. Okay? Until next time, I want to wish you all the best and take care.